Before I say or show you anything else, I glued my hair to my face. What's up everybody, it's me Zombie, and today I'm going to be talking about the new Gears of War armor set that I am designing and painting right now. I'm really excited about it. You may have seen my progress video about making a functional cosplay butt bag out of foam. That is a part of this costume. If you're interested in how I made that, I'm going to put a link right down below in the description box so you can check it out for all that Gears of War goodness. So far, I have started painting these little arm pieces that I made. Now, if you remember how I painted these before, they look quite a bit different. One, I completely remade them, and two, these used to be like bright neon colors that, you know, when at first I thought it was gonna look really cool. It used to be like neon orange and neon yellow, but after I put them away for a few weeks and came back and looked at them, I was like, wow, they hurt my eyes. They are too neon. So I wanted to mute the colors a little bit, make them a little bit more true to the Gears of War universe. I started painting these with Vallejo game colors. Here is the box that they came in. My good friend Fred has been talking about these Vallejo game colors forever, and I was always like, yeah, I'll get them eventually. I want to try them out. They look really cool. But he sent me a little starter kit for these, and I am like kind of blown away. These are miniature paints. I never would have guessed to try miniature paints for cosplay stuff, but these work so well. And like, seriously, this one little bottle, it's not even like a third gone yet, and it goes so far. The coverage is so good. Like, I've already painted these. Ooh, let me reach this. Painting my, oh God. I already started painting my belt, all the yellow little accents on there. I think they look really cool, and I like the finish on it. It kind of looks like washed out and muted and weathered when you only put like one coat on it, because this is just one coat. If I wanted it to be more vibrant, more neon, I would add more layers to it, but I honestly like how this looks so far. Check it out, my little belt bag has some little bright details on it now. I can't wait to add the silver or bronzy details to these too, because a lot of these have like little rivets and little metally details and little stitch details, so yeah, that'll be swell. And oh yeah, I forgot to say, you dilute this stuff. So I've actually been using the little mixing pan that I've been using the little mixing palette that it comes with, and just using my own brushes. I add some water to it and then diluted it down just a little bit with some water to get that much coverage. I'll throw up some pictures of my old Sophia cosplay that I made a few years ago. I'm actually recycling and harvesting a lot of these parts to make my new design. My idea for this new character is she's gonna have brighter armor and maybe like a really badass melee weapon, and she's gonna be kind of crazy, so I want her to have like bright, like neon-ish hair. I'll show you the wig that I picked up for the costume. I'm not really sure what style to go with. I was kind of thinking like a breaded wig, a dreaded or a braided hairstyle. Ooh, this is gonna be fresh out of the bag. I don't think I've even gotten this out yet. Ooh, yeah. Oh my goodness. So this is a synthetic wig, and she's got red on top, and then it just fades into orange and yellows on the bottom. And of course, it's a lace front, so I'll be able to like glue it down and have a lot to work with. So she is beautiful, and she's got like wavy awesomeness. It's kind of giving me like Aloy vibes a little bit. But yeah, let me know about your opinion of what you'd like to see for a cool Gears of War lady hairstyle right there in the comments, because I would love to know what you think. So here is the chest part, and I just replastied this so it's all black and matte and ready for details and to be painted. I did mask off the lights back here, and the lights still miraculously work. even after all of the electronics on the inside were all tangled, I had to detangle everything, and there were still batteries in this from like 3 years ago, and somehow it didn't ruin the electronics. So that was just really lucky. That's a dumb mistake I'm not gonna make again. Take your batteries out of the electronics. Here are what's left of my shin pieces. Here they are in the original paint scheme and everything. I ripped the backs off of them because I hated how the back parts of these looked. And I think I am definitely going to make new backs to these. I want them to look like very chunky and Gears of War-y. You know, they got them chunky thighs. Chunky thighs? Chunky shins! You know what? They got chunky thighs too. I just started painting the back of my little chest piece here, and I am going in with this dark brownie color mixed with a little bit of black. And this color is Beastie Brown, the same paints that I've been using. Definitely planning on lighting parts of this up and darkening some bits of it when we get to the weathering stage, just to give it a bit more depth. But we're just laying down some base colors right now, so kind of liking how that brown's looking so far. It looks really cool. Oh, I'm going in with this yellow. I just started painting the yellow over some brown details. Can definitely see myself putting some more like beige and maybe brown details in with this, but kind of like loving how the colors are looking so far. Also painting right over this carbon fiber fabric that's on there, and I think it looks really fun, and I'm having fun painting it. So I'm just gonna keep doing that. Hey everyone, it's a new day. I am still putting some layers down on this, given that there's only 2 layers on about every colored piece that you see. Still going in with the yellow and the brown. And now I moved on to the belt piece, continued putting some colors down there as well. Let me back this up a little bit so y'all can see it. Woo! There we go. Still putting my browns and yellows down on there. Really liking how vibrant the yellow is so far, but it's like not so vibrant that it hurts your face when you look at it. I have a roll of 6mm foam here. I just cut out a random rectangle from this right here. I'm actually noticing that my cats have scratched the crap out of this. So by the way, if you have cats, they're gonna go after your foam because they love it. I don't know why, they just do. So I need to be better at protecting my foam rolls. But you know what, for Gears of War, it's okay. Instead of throwing out this piece of foam that has been kind of pockmarked and scratched by my cats, I decided I'm gonna incorporate that into the design and gonna make it mucky, all battle damagey and weird. I kind of just laid down my foam shin here, and I measured the foam just a little bit wider so I just have something to work with. And then I'm bending this foam inward, getting the cat fuzz off of it, and seeing how I like that shape for the shin. I think I'll probably end up cutting this down right here and adding some more little fun designs, probably cutting a little space right here so I have some more ankle wiggle room when I put these over my boots. And then of course adding a bunch of fun Gears of War-esque designs on the back here. I'm trying to figure out like a place that works the best for this kind of thing. And I'm just tracing it right there, so it works nicely. And even though this is black foam and I'm tracing it with black Sharpie, you can still see the fluid is like shinier and you can see where I traced it. It's definitely more easy to see in person. But silver Sharpies are great too. Nothing against a good silver Sharpie. And just cutting this with my scissors because none of these sides are actually going to be exposed. And it's thin enough to where cutting it with scissors is okay. And as I kind of sculpt the back of this shin piece, I'll go in with my nice, sharp, sparkling new utility knife. And really put some nice shapes in there. Let's see. Here is the, oh God. Here is the back of the old shin piece. I just really don't like it. It's just old and sloppy, and I just want something nice and new. So I just ripped the backs off of them, and we're gonna start with a clean slate. All right, so as I'm cutting out my rectangles, I am just kind of checking out how I want them to sit inside of my little shin pieces and how big I want them to be exactly. And as I'm fitting them down, I'm taking a silver marker and I am tracing around where I want to contact cement this foam to the front of my shin. And this will just be so no residue peeks over the top. I have a guideline for exactly where I want the glue to go. Okay, so now that I have this all glued in, I am going to take my silver marker and kind of mark out places that I want to cut out, just by drawing little lines right here. And I'm just cutting kind of a half circle pattern right here, just so I have a little bit more ankle wiggle room to work with. And I'm gonna do the same on top. So now I'm gonna take my utility knife here and just cut away this material. And this knife is brand new and wonderful and sharp. And when Bill was over a couple months ago, he actually suggested that I try using these smaller utility knives, and I really love them. They're definitely great for cutting around corners and for cutting curves, and they just like make really clean work of things. So I've been loving this new knife. So now we have the little back of our shin shape. See, we have some wiggle room for our ankle right here and for the back of our knee right there. And now we're gonna move on to the fun part. I'm gonna start designing some little pieces to go on the back here. So I think a cool little design thing that we could do is put kind of just a stripe down, just kind of splitting the back in half. I think that'll make it look a little bit bigger, and it's a good starting point to add other details on. So I'm gonna take some more, I believe this is 4 or 6 millimeter foam, and I am going to cut a very thin little strip. And notice I'm not really like measuring it, I'm really just eyeballing it, and I will show you the reason here in 1 minute. And I'll be cutting 2 of these actually. And I'm just cutting it like approximately the same thickness, but it doesn't have to be perfect. The reason why I don't really mind how big these are is that I'm actually going to be using the thickness of just the foam, and that will actually make a perfectly even little line. So I'm, instead of putting it this way, I'm moving it this way, and I'm just using the width of the foam itself for my even line instead of counting on my own even line. And I do this often for little details and stuff. But now that I have that kind of mapped out, I'm going to glue 2 lines, 1 for each shin. Before I say or show you anything else, I glued my hair to my face. There's glue, it's just there now, it's great. Okay, so I have cut in all of my little details with my utility knife. I haven't applied heat yet, but I am starting to put more details in it. I'm actually using the top of this marker cap right here, just like a regular Crayola marker. And I'm actually just pressing it into the foam and twisting it to give it these little circle effects. And I'll even go over these with my X-Acto blade, which is even smaller than my utility blade that I've been using, and really just like make these little perforations pop. And then when I add them with heat, they're gonna open up even more. All right, so I finished up the detail on the back of my shin piece. I use a heat gun to open everything up. And I also put some dowel pieces from TNT Cosplay Supply on the top and on the bottom of my shin pieces. Now I'm just going to finish cleaning up some little pieces on the front and adding a couple details on here, and then I'm gonna plasti dip these guys. Plasti dip is just a good way to seal your foam before you paint it. It's flexible, so it's not gonna crack, and it just helps your paint stick to your project that you're doing. And I'm not afraid to put this on thick. So just depending on what I'm working on, sometimes I'll put it on thick, sometimes I'll put it on in thin, multiple layers. But in this case, I'm just gonna put it on thick, cause heck it, why not? Now to paint my base colors onto my shins. Alright, so here is the color scheme on the top part of the armor so far. I think it's like a really fun color scheme for Gears of War armor, and yeah, I'm digging it. So here are the new bracers that we made and the new updates on the belt, as long as the painted butt bag. So last night I was never able to find my shoes that I was planning on modifying, so I might just have to get a new pair of rain boots and start over on my Gears of War boots, but you know what you're gonna do. That's alright. But here are just those base colors down on the shin pieces. You'll notice that the front and the back here aren't connected. That's because that I harvested these buckles for another cosplay. So I'm just gonna have to attach some new buckles onto these guys. It's kind of giving me 70s vibes, but let me know what you think this color scheme should be named down in the comments. And I'm still like getting back into the swing of things, so I've noticed that everything takes me a lot longer than it used to, but I had a lot of fun, even if it was pretty much just painting and doing some really light crafting on remaking some of this stuff. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye everybody.